Hi, everybody. I was trying to think beforehand of going live, like of some smart ass thing to say, or a zinger, or just rolling out guns ablazing. But I'm kind of puzzled in a sense, and I'm not like saying this like to make a big woe is me or woe is the fans kind of thing, and I feel for Parker Kligerman, but I'm kind of puzzled by the fact that I'm still, and I really thought I was over this at this point, I'm still NASCAR can manage with gross incompetence to surprise me in how badly they can screw up a good thing. It's just amazing to me. I don't know, there's a lot of you guys that are going to be, why don't you talk about the race? It was a good race. Or I love the playoffs and I love overtime and yada, yada, yada. I was like, I don't know how a racing fan can watch what we saw at the end of that race. Watch what should have been called a caution 30 seconds prior. So I'm not even upset that they called the caution. I'm upset that it was a clear-cut caution. He was buried about 6 feet under the barriers and probably into the track itself. And they wait till the last possible moment. They got the playoff points on there. I'll read that crap in a minute. I don't understand the reasoning. TV saw it. Fans saw it. Everyone, drivers saw it. Everyone saw it. I mean, how the hell can you miss a car literally face planting into a wall? And don't get me wrong, I still think that, all things considered, and this is me different from a lot of fans, I think Parker Kligerman is the deserving driver who should have won this race. If you're going to not throw the caution, just throw it after the white. I wouldn't like that either, but at least we get the deserving winner out of it. And I don't blame Sam Mayer for this. All right. Sam Mayer kept himself in position. Good restart. And I give him and Parker Kligerman a lot of credit. They race each other clean enough. Clean enough for today's era of NASCAR. Hell, we're watching Jesse Love's interview where he punted the 38, and I guarantee, because I have it muted right now, I guarantee he doesn't give a damn that he punted somebody else out of the way and probably could have wrecked them. Like, just everything about the first 60 some laps, everything about the racing and regulation, I loved it. I thought this race was awesome. I thought the racing was awesome. I thought the strategy was awesome. The tire strategy, all of it. It was the best you can get out of modern road course racing. And then NASCAR had to NASCAR it. They had to take something. This is what NASCAR's been doing since 2003. You got to take something that's just simple, good, just let it roll, and just find a way to convolute it and screw it up. And it's been this way for the last 21 years. Again, I don't blame Sam Mayer. I know a lot of people are going to get pissed at Sam Mayer for winning. I don't get why. He's just playing under these crappy rules. A lot of people are going to get mad at others. They're going to get mad that SVG didn't make it. They're going to get mad at whatever. But this is solely on NASCAR. Solely on them. And I don't know how drivers don't actively go out and rip them a new one, except, well, I guess I kind of do know, seeing how they have an anti-disparaging clause in their new charter deal for the Cup guys. So they're, the fear of God has probably been already put into them already with this. I don't understand anymore. I don't understand, one, how I can be surprised by this. I don't understand, and I know that a lot of you guys are in there that are happy about this. I don't understand how at this point. I really don't understand how fans like all of this stuff and defend it. The NBC booth, and I know it's CW. The only thing CW about this is the fact that the race freezes for those who are able to see it. The fact the NBC booth constantly is trying to gaslight everyone into saying why it's a good thing. They'll say like, oh, well, this was wrong a little bit, but here we go. This is great. Jeff Burton doing his playoff glazing once the checkered flies. Like, I just don't like it. I wish I could say it more eloquently. The overtime and that call, everything from that call forward is everything I don't like about current NASCAR. I know I'm in the minority and I don't like green, white checkers and I guess it's 50-50. I don't even know where it's at with playoffs at this point. I know even people that defend the playoffs think things should be changed about it. So I guess maybe I'm in the majority on that one. But I know Parker's not going to say a damn thing about it. He's not. He's going to say he's upset, which I know he is. That's truthful. But he's not going to say anything about really any of the calls or any of that. He works for NBC. Like, he will never say anything disparagingly against NASCAR in any real way because he works for one of the networks. So I just... I give them that. I give NASCAR that. They still manage, after all these years, to get me at a loss for words. I'll give them that. But I feel so bad for Parker Kligerman. I do. I feel so bad for Parker Kligerman after this. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for the drivers having to put up with this BS so damn often. And from trucks to cup. Like, I feel bad that Sam Mayer is going to get people pissed off at him and saying it's an illegitimate win because of something that NASCAR did. I just... Listen, man, I'm just here for individual races. And even as somebody watching for an individual race, like, that just ruins it. The finish doesn't make the entire race. It can definitely leave that horrible taste in your mouth. This is like you have this like perfect chocolate cake. This is my analogy. Here we go. My Colin Cowherd analogy of the day. It's like you got this perfect chocolate cake, right? It's just great. And then you get like the nice icing on it, a great finish. You got 3, 4, 5 guys in the finish. That finish was awesome. That race was awesome. Everything until the end was awesome, man. It was great. And I like Noah Coleman, 2015 Talladega. That's what it reminds me a lot of. It reminds me of that race. And I don't have any dog in the fight here. I like Sam Mayer. I like Parker Kligerman. I like AJ Allmendinger, SVG. I don't hate Austin Hill like a lot of you guys do. Everybody was up there. Like, I really have no one I am for or against. I would have been happy with any outcome of this race had it just played out naturally. But again, you have this perfect chocolate cake. You got this, great finish is like the nice icing on it. You got the candles ready to give the kid. And what do? You just spray Raid on the top of it right at the finish. It's a hell of a chocolate cake when you go back and have it. But I guarantee you the end result is not going to be something you're really happy with. That's my analogy for this race. And I know a lot of people too, and I've seen a few in there already who are like, he likes complaining, and he likes when this stuff happens. No, I don't. Do you know that actually more people usually come on average and chill and we hang out when it's a good finish, when it's a positive, when we have positive news more often than not, like NWP, like on Wednesday nights. More people come in and watch. I want it to be good. I want to talk good about NASCAR. I don't want to come on here after, seemingly more and more races every single year and be upset with it. I don't. And again, to fully, completely dive into this, it was the right call to throw a caution. It was entirely the right call. The problem with it is, one, throwing it so damn late. The fact that you had lights that were going off after he crossed the line. They did show the light came on pit road or whatever, the pit road view or whatever it was. That it did come on before he got to the line, right? But then you basically have the booth trying to figure out excuses for NASCAR's inept, gross incompetence. But, there's a time delay, and I know they talked about Daytona a little bit and stuff like that. And all this other stuff, but it's like, real time delay. We are putting people's seasons in the balance. We are changing people's seasons, and you know what? If Parker Kligerman doesn't get a win in his full-time career, like this could be his last good shot. You are changing legacies of drivers too, off a time delay. Like, come on, like how. We want NASCAR to be taken seriously as a serious sport. Then why the hell are we making these stupid excuses, these stupid calls? And listen, if this race sucked, I probably wouldn't be as mad. I'll be honest. It's just, this was a good race. This was a really fun race. Like, I want to know in the chat. I want to see y'all just fly away with it. Out of 10. 10 being the best race ever. 1 being the worst race ever. What'd you think? Fire away, baby. Because I see Ryan here in the chat saying that the race itself was absolutely amazing, and I agree, man. I agree. I probably would have gave it a 10 out of 10 on the day. I really would have. I think now, even with that, I still will give it an 8 because I had a shit ton of fun tonight, man. That was fun. I'm turning the TV off. I don't watch Big Bang Theory. Ugh. That's the thing. I see you guys going like 0 due to illegitimate ending. Some of you going 9 for the most part, turned to a 6. Some are saying 10, but now it's an 8. Now it's a 1. Like, I don't blame you. I'm with you, man. Of course, there's not Jim Francis burner account. I'll tell you what. No matter what, you guys make me laugh. Race 8, officiating 1. -2 finish. Yeah, that's the thing, man. 10 out of 10 for the last lap. Now it's a 7. Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. Yeah, it was NASCAR choking. I'm watching what you guys are saying, and yeah, I'm waiting too. Where's NASCAR chill? I'm waiting for you, buddy. But it's just rough. It's just rough being a NASCAR fan based on NASCAR with it more than anything. Let's look at the points and how they're going now, and then I'll go through the finishing order. We'll go point by point through this race. Justin Allgaier, Cole Custer, Austin Hill, and Chandler Smith. They are above the cut line right now heading into the final round. So the 7's plus 18, 00 plus 11, 21 plus 9, and Chandler Smith is plus 8 over Sam Mayer. Jesse Love is minus 12, minus 18 for AJ, and Sammy Smith minus 19. Eliminated today were Kligerman, obviously, SVG, Creed, and Herbst. It's rough, man. It's just rough, buddy. In the words of Zuko. But let's look at the rundown of this race. 72 laps on the day, 2 hours, 28 minutes, 35 seconds, 8 leaders with 12 lead changes, 7 cautions on the day and tonight. By the way, click that like button. Let's charge up the like, subscribe if you're new. We do this after every race. There's only 4 weeks and 1 race tomorrow left of the season, so, come chill. Usually it's a lot more chill than this. Sam Mayer gets the win on this one. From there, we have 1.5, basically a second and a half back to AJ Allmendinger. After that, we got SVG in third, held steady on those worn tires. Fourth is Hill, Chandler Smith fifth, Kligerman falls back to sixth, had a tire rub at the end. Just, I don't know, man. Sorry, I'm hot. Allgaier in seventh. Josh Bilicki, a bright spot of the day as well. In the 8th spot, Almirola in 9th, and Sammy Smith top 10. Then Jones, Retzlaff, Custer, LeBay, Jib, Alfredo, Ryan Sieg in the 28th. In 17th, Mosak 18th, Love 19th, and Clements in his Dale Jr. throwback to 2008 rounds out the top 20. Pardis in 21st, Matty D in 22nd, Kyle Sieg in 23rd, Cram 24th, Bird and Perez, the lead lap, top 26, Lupton 27th, a lap down. Honeyman out of the race in 28th, as is Sage Karam in 29th, Green in 30th, 14 laps down for Ellis in 31st. Herbst finishes 32nd out of this race. Perkins minus 16 laps in 33rd, last finishing car. Then the rest of these guys are out. 34th is Annunziata. Fun name to say, which you can finish higher. Creed in 35th, Williams in 36th, Jones 37th, and Poole in 38th. I'm figuring out where the hell to put this damn thing. Let's pop up the finish on the screen for you, their finishing order. I just want to make sure that I have it all ready to go for you. There it goes. I think I do. I probably spelled somebody's name wrong. Even then, I still did my job better than NASCAR Officiating did at the end of this race. Thomas Annunziata doesn't finish higher because he's in a Joey Gase car. Yes. Yeah. Just really fun name. It's like Lawless Allen. Just really fun name to say. He doesn't get the finishes. Now, I want to put a poll out to you guys because a big, what do you call it? Storyline heading into this thing. Yes, ticker time. I like that. And maybe spam ticker time sometimes whenever we do that. But poll. Because I want to know what you think about this. What did you think of the new layout? And I'll give you 4 options on this one. I know a lot of people are like, give us more than 2. You got it, buddy. You got it. So, did you love it? Or did you hate it? Or did you think there was no change in opinion? If I can spell opinion, not onion. Or are you just not sure? So, poll. There we go. Poll. Indifferent could have been a better word, but, not thinking. And onions, yes. Personally, I thought for the new layout, I know a lot of drivers are complaining about it, and maybe we'll see tomorrow it might get worse. I really didn't think it was as bad as the drivers were saying. I was definitely in a wait and see approach to it, just because I didn't want to judge it too early. Overall, I don't think too much crazy stuff happened with it. All the big ones happened in places that already were on the course. But I do think this is one of those last gasp kind of things of keeping the Roval around. Just viewership-wise, attendance-wise, and just seemingly sentiment-wise, the Roval is definitely the underdog long-term in what format, layout gets used between the Roval or the Oval. And I'll put a poll out to you guys about that one too. But I like that still, Joe. I'm not an onion guy. I'll vote for chives. But I honestly didn't think it was too bad. I really kind of indifferent on the change. I thought the drivers for the most part were pretty respectful with each other with it. SVG was, Jeff Burton was like, he's getting so pissed. He's like, why are they just letting him have it? It's like, sometimes Jeff, sometimes they just raced respectfully out there and they know they're beaten already. Which is really funny because I particularly remember Jeff Burton racing like that a lot, where when he'd not be as fast as somebody, he would just let them by. It's just really funny listening to Jeff Burton get mad at people driving like Jeff Burton did, which is respectful. It's amazing that the turnaround in the last decade of opinion on Jeff's part when it comes to how people should drive. I mean, it's funny to me, man. It's just funny. They're literally racing like you did, and you're getting all pissed. It's like, just saying. I was not crazy about Jeff Burton today. I thought that he was, I don't know if on his game, off his game. I've never been a Jeff Burton in the booth fan. I've liked him as a driver and a personality in the garage. But I really felt like today, Burton just kept repeating stuff that Rick Allen and Steve Letarte would say. And it's like, dude, you can add something. You're a driver. Let us know. And then what he would add is, getting upset about that stuff. But it's like, how as the other drivers race SVG. But it's like, one, it's clear he was faster and better than a lot of those guys. And by the time he got up to the front, he couldn't make the move itself. But two, again, it bears repeating. Jeff, they're racing like you, buddy. I'm just not crazy about him in the booth. But no, I see you guys are kind of, there's 3 big options. Not many of you hated it. We'll end the poll here. Basically indifferent, no change in opinion, 34%, love it, 33%, not sure, 23%, and hate it, 8%. I'm going to ask this today, and I'm going to ask this tomorrow. And this one, I'm giving you an either or. So I'm just letting you know that now. Which do you prefer? And again, if I can spell, Charlotte Oval or Charlotte Roval. There you go. Let's talk point by point through this race here. SVG, of course, won the pole, and Mayer would take the lead initially, which was really funny because everyone with eyes could see. It's like, yeah, Mayer jumped the start there. Jumped the start, got put behind the 8 ball early. So, that's crazy too, is like, again, I'm not upset that Mayer won. It is actually, when you think about it still, and NASCAR still wins out on it because they can shove this to the forefront next week. Mayer had a good comeback win out of all of this. And I think if it's somebody that was more liked, like if that was AJ or SVG, or if that was Kligerman that ended up getting an underdog win by it, I know people would be upset by the call, but I think people would be a little more forgiving. So a good call, and or a good story there. But it was really early on, and I had it initially in the title. SVG versus AJ. They were 1-2. AJ'd get the lead, and SVG had an uncharacteristic day, in my opinion. This is the first time I've seen him on a road course in Xfinity where I was like, this is not the guy to beat, and it's not really close. With it, you had him missing the chicane at one point, and he did it multiple times. He was uncomfortable in the car. He had said so multiple times on the radio. They were making bad decisions crew chief wise. I mean, that call to stay out at the end, that I don't even think that works with cautions, because the cautions just get those guys that are really good closer together to you. I really didn't understand the way that the crew chief called that race, and I was really surprised by the way that SVG just seemed mortal in a lot of ways. I know a lot of people are happy with that because they're like, I'm so sick of him being the winner all these ones. So there you go. You got your wish. Of course, Mayer and others would split the stage, but AJ Allmendinger would get the win in it over SVG. Allgaier, Hill, Love, Creed, Mosak, who, again, Connor Mosak, really good day for the most part, finishes 18th, getting caught up in a lot of stuff. Herps, Balicki, can't say enough about how happy I was seeing Josh Balicki up there. I hope he gets more opportunities to, at least maybe at road courses, race in good equipment, because I think he deserves it. And Chandler Smith in the 10th spot. We get stage 2, and it's Love winning the race off pit road, but the top 15 stay out because you had that stage split. So it's Balicki actually leading up front with Chandler Smith. And you'd see those two up front for the next couple restarts because we had a bit of calamity here. You'd have a debris caution where they did like the ultimate zoom in, which the more I think about it, I could probably have some real fun with that. It's like at one point they're like, what is that on the ground there? And it's like this small little speck. And then they just like as close as they can get, and that back. I know there's Fox execs right now who saw that, and they're just like, zoom? They're zooming in? Write that down, Patrick. Write that down. Like it was funny, but I won't say I'm in any way complaining about it because it was needed. And great job on the CW NBC hybrid camera team for that. I thought that was really good on their part to actually show us what the caution was for. Now that we don't have to manufacture debris cautions because we have stage cautions, we can actually show the debris on track because they're actual debris cautions now. And it looked like it was sheet metal. But I thought that was funny in the moment. Get it back going again. Matty D gets stuck in the turn 6 ball. So, you got to re-rack him again. Sam Mayer would take the lead before the big one. With that, you had the 98 and the 5. Anthony Alfredo in the 5. Riley Herbst in the 98. They're going through the front chicane. They are racing incredibly hard. Riley Herbst is trying to pin the 5 down onto the chicane. There's a curb there. 5 stands his ground. And it causes a 12-car wreck that ends up not only taking Riley Herbst out, but also taking Sheldon Creed out of the race. And I got to say, I feel so damn bad for Creed because he is like a couple just good strokes of luck away from having like 6 wins going into the playoffs and not having to worry about any of this. But instead, he is a record holder for second. Yes, the NBC crew is doing the work for the CW this year, and then they're doing NASCAR Productions next year, which was in the news. CW just not having a good start to their partnership, because it was in the news this week that CW is talking about having more and more remote broadcasts next year, with the announcers staying in Charlotte and just bare bonesing it. And if you're already having to go bare bones in the first year of a 7-year deal, I'm not very hopeful. That and the fact that I know a lot of you in the chat were telling me that that you couldn't actually see the race itself because they were putting football and other sports on. I see in the chat, did Creed get eliminated? I forgot. Yes, he did. He did get eliminated. But yeah, big crash there. And you would have Allgaier end up being the big winner in all of this. He'd get the lead through stage 2, win the stage over Mosak, Mayer, Almirola, Honeyman. Again, Honeyman had a good moment in this race. Got 6 stage points. AJ Allmendinger, SVG, Chandler Smith, Sage Karam, and Josh Bilicki, the top 10. So we get in the final stage, and here's the fun part, baby. We get it back going. Mosak has the lead at this point. Of course, he has a left front kind of get crumpled up. And with 22 to go, it's Sam Mayer who would take the lead from him. And Mayer's running out. Looks like he just has to maintain for the most part. In this part, we also see that he was having issues through Oval 1 and 2. Seemed like he just wasn't shifting well or something. But all of that wouldn't really matter with 15 to go when a brake failure on Thomas Annunziata would cause him to crash into the turn 1 wall. Funny, he crashed and NASCAR immediately threw a caution when he got stuck in the wall. But I don't know, that's not going to come up later. But this is where SVG stays out. Pretty much everyone but the top 4 pit. And the only way I think I could justify SVG and that team's call is that if Moore had stayed out behind the 97, if instead of 4 staying out, it was like 15 like earlier, or if it was maybe 10 even. The only way I could justify it is if that many stayed out behind him, you had that buffer room, he gets out to a big lead, and by the time Mayer, Kligerman, Allmendinger are catching up to him, he has kind of more equalized tires to the rest of them. Because by the end of the race, SVG was keeping up with the others. They'd burn their tires off a little bit more, and the tires were a little bit more equal. And he was able to keep pace with them, stay ahead of Austin Hill. That's the only thinking I can have to this. But you got to take the tires at a road course like this, especially when you got some of the best out there. So with 11 to go, he scoots out with the lead. Kligerman's quickly to second. You got tons spinning all in the back around him, but Kligerman is there, catches up to him quickly, outbreaks the 97, takes the lead. Mayer's to second, AJ to third. SVG is still sticking around in 4th. Hill was actually within, I think, 2 seconds at one point in 5th. So you're having, again, great finish, kind of closing in on the end of this race. It's looking like it's going to be a hell of a finish between them because, you know, every time Mayer would try and like make a move, like he'd use up the 48's bumper, then outbreak the 48. 48 crossed him over, took the lead. AJ Allmendinger's there. That just brings everybody closer together because it's slowing them all down. And I'm thinking that we're going to see a hell of a finish. Of course, Mayer gets slow again, just having issues shifting, loses a ton of ground, and it's Parker Kligerman's race to lose. Coming to the white flag, they show Honeyman while they're on like the backstretch chicane. Honeyman is buried in the wall. And initially it's white, then a caution. So you're thinking the race is over. Then they change it to overtime. They show the replay light, and then they give all their excuses for why the call was made before they even have the full information on it. We get to the overtime. Mayer gets the win. And that's that. But overall, I personally thought that it was a pretty fun race until the finish. I would go back and watch until the white flag flew the first time. If I'm going to rewatch this race, that's what I'd do. Just leaves such a bad taste in your mouth. I also think that some in the chat forgot to get in their burner accounts for Jim France, just saying. Or they're just purposely jumping out there having fun. But there you go. There you go. Oh, no, they're responding to Jim France's not burner account. But this is what NASCAR wants. This is modern NASCAR. The chaos and craziness and wacky storylines and drama is what NASCAR wants. We've known this for a while. That's why I'm saying I'm puzzled why I still get upset. I care. At least you know I care. Even if you think I'm a dumbass, which I very well may be, at least you know I care about the sport. But that's it. Next year will be the Roval. Again, some are asking. But looking at it, looks like 3/4 of people are saying they prefer the oval over the Roval. So there is that. I'll look Bob's tweet about NASCAR's explanation. Thank you, Crystal John. I'll look it up really quick. No worries. We got time. We got all the time in the world. By the way, while I'm looking up Bob's tweet so we can go over a little more in depth on this stuff, we will be live on Eric Estep's channel for NWP on Wednesday night. We'll be live tomorrow also after the Roval Cup race. But on Wednesday night on Eric's channel, we have Ellie Productions coming on, which Ellie put out a video. So after this, go check out his video. Send him some love. Dude is awesome person, awesome creator. So let's see. Which tweet am I looking for of Bob's? Because there's a couple. Okay, he said 11 minutes ago, ask NASCAR about the delay of caution. Apparently, that area where Honeyman was underneath the tires is difficult to see from the tower and is partly what delayed them from throwing the caution. The TV cameras had it up, and NASCAR has access to the TV cameras. Come on. That's the excuse? That's the excuse. Are you kidding me? We couldn't see it from the tower. You have access to every camera, even cameras we don't get on the broadcast. That's your excuse. Oh, good God, man. Well, let's learn from this. Maybe just put somebody over there. You know, other than the fact that there are plenty of people already over there, as well as a camera, that caught the whole goddamn thing. Not one camera, two. Were there tinted windows too? Oh, come on. Bullshit. Bull. That is, that's BS. That has to be BS. That can't be real. Ask NASCAR about the delay in the caution. Apparently, that area where Honeyman was underneath the tires is difficult to see from the tower, and that is partly what delayed them from throwing the caution. I've gotten to the point where I'm ranting, and now I'm just laughing. I mean, what are you supposed to do at this point? It's just funny to me, man. I mean, yeah, it was probably difficult to see the 42, seeing how he was, completely packed into the tires. But the tower, they're the ones that are seeing the whole damn thing. That's so stupid, man. Well, better luck tomorrow. I don't think the racing will be better, but hopefully the finish will. So, knock on wood. You guys are funny as hell, man. Oh, you guys are funny as hell. All right, let's look at the super chats. I appreciate you guys who left a bunch of them in here. I know you guys got a lot to say. I'm keeping an eye on the chat too. The tower, Rapunzel. I have no words. Absolute garbage excuse. Man, I might see if I can make a more concise way of saying this and make a video about this. I'm not sure yet. I want to cool down because I want to be more overboard if I already am, but I might. This is why you're being sued, NASCAR. That's from Joshua8824 in the chat. Let's look at the super chats here. Steve-O for the 10. I was just watching Jackass 3 last night. Well, clips of it. It was on my feed. Iceberg, I'm telling you, they hired Angel Hernandez when he retired to run the booth. This is ridiculous. That was, I think, right after it was called, and yeah, that's a great way of putting it. That's perfect. Snappy saying for the 2, I'm just disgusted by NASCAR's incompetence. Right there with you, man. Bailey for the 2. Mayor better hand that trophy and check to Sawyer. Elton Sawyer, yeah. Sorry, I was also listening to Rush today, so I have Tom Sawyer in my head. Gary Buki with the 10. Love how they threw the caution, well, pressed the button, apparently, 2 feet before the line for Parker. But for Larson at Indy, they waited until he took the white. Consistently inconsistent. Awful. It's kind of like Denny said, that there's probably not intention in the bad calls, but the optics are horrible. Like, the optics are definitely horrible at this point. CBB with the 5. NASCAR officiating just ruined a 10 out of 10 race. Mayor, thank the good Lord above for the win. Not sure if he means Jesus or the officials in race control. And I guarantee what NASCAR is going to do on their social media tonight. They're going to have one of their hired on talking head reporters or somebody interview Elton Sawyer, give him softball questions. He'll say, well, we need to be better sometimes. We'll definitely take a look at this, and then we'll make the calls from there. Like, it's going to be the same damn interview over and over again. But yeah. Sheepbot with the 2 saying hashtag Mayor not my winner. I completely don't blame people for having Clickerman be their winner. And Flash Defishy for the 2 says hashtag Parker won. There you go. No, this is a learning experience. Yes. Which, by the way, if anyone hasn't learned by now, when people say this is a learning experience, like, I get the first couple times, but at this point, this is complete corporate ease that we're hearing. Like, you just gotta put on your corporate ease. I can't wait to see what the talking heads at Sirius have to say about this on Monday. I can't wait to see their excuse for this. I can't wait to see them yell at fans for rightfully being upset and then tell them they're the problem. I can't wait. Cannot wait. Or hand selecting the worst and dumbest fans that are probably drunk at 9 a.m. to call in. I can't wait to see this. Cannot wait. Garibuki with another 5. Even everybody in the booth and the interviews talking all mumbly like it's a funeral. We really got the bad end. We did. We lost. Like, the opening until the white flag was like, the first Joker movie, and then the way it finished out was like if you then immediately followed that up with seeing the new Joker movie. Like, that's another good equivalent. We're just going to keep having these analogies the entire time. Like, whether I mean it or not, I'll just go full Colin Cowherd the entire time. Fred Dog with the 2. NASCAR officials went full White Sox. Embarrassing. Well, the White Sox at least won this season sometimes. I'd be interested to see the percentages of the White Sox compared to NASCAR officiating making good calls this year, or having just good finishes or good races being ruined by good finishes. Marky Mark with the 5. 911. What's your emergency? Hi, I'd like to report a theft. Yeah. Yep. Steve-O with the 2. NASCAR 2 distracted by the lawsuit to officiate. You guys are good. You guys are on it tonight. Give you credit. Any of the zingers that I couldn't think of saying, you guys probably have said. Twin Spinner with the 2 for saying NASCAR loves falling face first into controversy. It's like a Tom and Jerry skit, falling and just steps on the rake right in the face. Vermonter with the 5 here saying, if the caution came out when the 42 went under the fence, then fine. It's the fact that they call it way, way too late and the wrong spot. Yeah. Like, this race, under the way it should have finished with a green-white checker. But if you're not going to call the damn caution, then just don't call it until after he crosses the line. At least you're consistent with Indianapolis earlier this year. Isaac with the 2. Hamlin was right to sue NASCAR. Seeing a lot more people getting on the side of Denny Hamlin. GBO Farms saying with the 2, as trash as the Cup car is, that's a small complaint. A little off topic, but okay. Andrew with 5, stuff like this is why people don't watch NASCAR and not take it seriously. That what's wild is that they never learned from Texas 2022. It's the same call. It feels like it. This feels like Talladega 2015, 2022 All-Star race mixed up in this amalgamation like that you'd see on Smiling Friends, and being force-fed to the masses that watch. Reverend Rasheem Hall Stewart with the 2. NASCAR should go back to a 10-race playoff system. I will take the chase at this point. I really will. And the thing is, the playoffs. The only thing the playoffs have to do with this is I guarantee NASCAR, I guarantee they wait a little longer to add drama to it. Like, I really think that's what it was. I think they wanted to add drama. And SW, perfectly on time here, saying NASCAR wanted drama. They got one. It's us. Yeah. Yeah, I think actually looking at what you guys are saying in social media and like what I'm saying, I think it's more entertaining than like the finish we got. You know, that's not an attempt. Yep, there's another one. That's not an attempt. We will learn from this. Do you guys like Smiling Friends? Yes, I do. I very much like Smiling Friends. Actually, we had a Smiling Friends reference on the podcast where I actually used a scene from it on there. Maybe I'll use it again sometime. Michael Dye, make the Winston Cup point system great again. You know what? I'll run on that platform. All right, when I turn 35, I will immediately start a presidential campaign that we will restore the Winston Cup. We'll even make nicotine sponsorship legal again for the hell of it, just so that we can get a little more on brand. Kidding, obviously. Alex with the 5. I've been watching NASCAR for 10 years, and I might be done with this sport. I hate saying this because I'm going to sound like an asshole saying it, but I'm going to say it. You're not done. If you care enough to be on here and you care enough to comment, trust me, you won't be done. There'll be times that you wish you were. Trust me, I've been there, but you ain't done yet. It's when you finally just turn it off and don't even tune into anything else, and you're just like, skip it for a week. That's when you need to worry. I've seen it happen. The funny thing is that like stuff like this, the Austin Dillon finish, all of this other stuff, it's funny because like when in 2021, when we had a big kind of like YouTuber meetup, and I was talking a bit with Tree about it because, you know, he brought up how much fun he had at the race. There wasn't really too much dumb stuff happening. The racing, both races, was really fun. He loved his experience. And he said it's just the thing that pushes him away from NASCAR is that the gimmicks and trying to make drama out of nothing. And that tonight's a prime example. It's a prime example. And a lot of people will be like, you know, you can't change this because it's a modern audience, or you can't change that because of way we're used to it and stuff like that. And at that point, I just kind of say, well, it's not exactly helping in any way. If anything, it's maybe keeping stable, but it's not growing the sport. You know, this big lie that a lot of people in NASCAR media will say is, like playoffs and gimmicks and drama and these calls at the end, like this stuff gets us all talking and it grows the sport. It's like the data doesn't show that. And a lot of the people that leave NASCAR, like it's just so funny. NASCAR, it's like they're going further and further in the cave. And I think they're going to see the light at the end of that tunnel. And if they realize that this, in some ways, you don't have to go all the way back. You can't go all the way back. There's some stuff that you especially have to keep. And like racing back to line, don't go back and do that. As much fun as it is doing iRacing, it's just too dangerous to do with the way these drivers drive. So like, I'm not saying let's completely go back, but there's some things that maybe if you just took a step back on and thought, this thing, these bad moves, people don't watch. Maybe we need to self-evaluate a little bit. You know, it's like NFL teams have a bye week and they have a self-eval week, they call it. Like maybe NASCAR in the offseason one of these years with the networks just needs to be like, hey, maybe what we're doing isn't working and we should check and see like what stuff maybe can we tweak a little bit and maybe listen to the fans a little bit more, but especially the ones that have left. Because I guarantee there's a lot of fans that have left that if there wasn't this much stupid stuff happening, would come back. But that's just me. I don't know. I've only spent the last 6-7 years talking all over the country to people at different races, as well as all over the country when I'm going outside of NASCAR and talking to people who have stopped watching. I seek out people a lot of times that have stopped watching NASCAR because I want to know like what pushed you away and when. And it's wild. It's always like the same damn things. Just saying. Joshua with the 5 here saying the racing gods owe Kligerman big time. And you're right. 2015 Talladega vibes with this finish. Camerican _GM with the 5 saying what Boyer said. It's not his fault. No, it's NASCAR's fault for putting us into this situation. 2015 qualifying for Daytona, I believe. Yeah. Boyer's words 10 years later almost ring completely true. Fred Dog with the 2. The Herbst Alfredo wreck. Who do you blame? I blame Herbst trying to push the 5 more off the track. I think that's on the 98 more than the rest of them. 98 or 5. Let me know in the chat who you think. I'm putting it more on Herbst. The 5 has a right to the inside lane if he's there. He should not be pushed off. My God, I don't know why. Like, this shirt's just annoying me. CBB with the 5. I have it on questionable authority that NASCAR shill chose Seppuku over the humiliation of trying to defend this race. RIP if true. I've seen a lot of people put in 98. Good reference, CBB. The guy who pressed the button for the 5 saying stop overreacting. Here at NASCAR, we ensure fairness and entertainment. I'll tell you what, your burner accounts or these like fun like meme accounts, they're great. Like keep them coming. They're great until they go over the line. Like keep them coming. Irvin Alvarado with a 5 here saying, as Jaguar Gator 9 states for breaking down questionable coaching, what a dumb decision. Yeah, what a dumb decision. Lightning Wolf for the 2. What are your thoughts on IndyCar going to Fox? Great move. It's amazing. Take a little less money, get more exposure, and you'll get more money in the long run. It's only someone at NASCAR could have understood that strategy, seeing how they're in a much better position, I would argue, than IndyCar. But hey, smart business decision on IndyCar's part. We'll see if they can reap the benefits of it in the long run. But every race on major network television, that's the only way that you succeed on television nowadays. Cable's dying. We all know it. Nobody really, especially like the under, I'd say the under 40 crowd, nobody really wants cable at this point. We really, if we have it, we only have it because we want to watch sports or like one TV show or whatever. Like, I don't want cable. Dude, if I found a website that would never get busted whatsoever, and I know there's a couple out there that are pretty good, but they still get busted from time to time. If I knew I could watch the NASCAR races online, like, you know, on YouTube streaming for free, I'd get rid of cable. I would. Like, I don't want it. I don't want cable. I only have it because like I want to watch a couple sports. You know, want to watch my Vikings, want to watch NASCAR. Every now and then, I'll, you know, if I want to watch baseball sometimes. Like, that's it. Sports are the only thing keeping me on cable. And once I find a better alternative, I'm ditching cable because I don't want to pay the money for it. The only thing that I would, you know, like that's the only way you can succeed in the next 7 years on television is being on Fox, NBC, CBS, ABC, the big networks. And they're desperate for content. They're putting a damn ARCA race on Big Fox next year, but we only can get like 4 or 5 cup races. Milton with the 2. NASCAR going to NASCAR because they're NASCAR. NASCAR. Twin Spinner with the 5. NASCAR just wanted to create an even bigger and more recent controversy to take attention away from the lawsuit. Don't think so, but would not surprise me. And then Noah with the 2. The first race I've ever seen live. Holy shit. If you mean like just in general, it gets better than this. If you mean in person, I'm so sorry. Matthew with the I believe Australian 5. For any of you Americans interested, the Bathurst 1000 Australian Supercars race starts in an hour. If you have the ability to watch it, there you go. For a lot of you guys that want to watch more racing tonight, that I'm assuming will have way better officiating. There you go. The Fred Dog 81 so far here with the last one for the 5. The race before the last lap. Al Bundy scoring 4 touchdowns in one game and making out with the prom queen. The race after, Al Bundy afterwards. Yes. I don't know off the top of my head where to watch it. It's I don't know off the top of my head. But there is that. And again, we have this week, Wednesday night, Ellie Productions coming on Eric Estep's channel with us for NWP. Go watch Ellie's video. He just put one out. Him and Slap Shoes did a collaboration. I remember him telling me about it a while ago. I cannot wait to watch it. I have not been able to because I was watching the race. But go send him some love. Dude is awesome, both as a creator and a person. Send him a bunch of love. He deserves it. And yeah, I think that's going to cut it. I think we're good to go. Fingers crossed. Tomorrow we'll have a better one. I really hope so. But you know what? Even a day with a bad race is better than a day with no race. I'll put it like that. So thank you guys so much for coming out. We'll be live tomorrow after the Cup race. I might be on a tight schedule a little bit. I do have something I got to get to at 6:30. So as long as I don't have a 2-hour red flag, I should be okay. But just letting you know that in advance. Heading to the city. So we will be live then. And of course on Eric's channel Wednesday night. So thank you guys for all coming out. Appreciate it. Enjoy your Saturday night. And until tomorrow, have a good one. Later.